Lena, we need your room. My stepfather's voice sliced through the calm of the Vermont farmhouse. Curt, dismissive, as if I were a guest overstaying my welcome. I paused, fingers hovering over my laptop, where I'd been analyzing biotech data since 5 a.m. Come again? Maya's moving back, fresh out of Stanford Med. She needs proper space for her residency research, and your room has the best lighting and space for her equipment. He eyed my corner setup like it was a pile of junk, not the neural mapping software I'd been developing. You'll be fine in the attic. We cleared it out this morning. I was 27, living in the home my late grandmother left behind, now run like a museum of Maya's achievements. I worked remotely for a neuroscience lab and had just begun beta testing my own cognitive analytics tool. It wasn't flashy, but it was real. That didn't matter to them. The attic? It doesn't even have heat. Maybe discomfort will motivate you, my mother chimed in. You can't keep treating your little project like it's a career. Be more like Maya. Ah yes, Maya, the prodigy, the crown jewel, still living off family praise and a mountain of student debt. I already have a career, I said. They didn't hear me. You're just tinkering, my mother said. Maya needs the space for something real. I looked at the whiteboards lining my room. Years of equations, simulations, prototypes. They saw scribbles. I saw the future. All right, I said calmly, closing my laptop. I'll leave. Not because I was broken, but because I was building something too big for that house. 3 years of quiet dismissal. 3 years of watching them raise glasses to Maya's every move, while treating my work like a hobby. You've got until noon, my stepfather said flatly. Her lab equipment arrives tomorrow. Noon, that was almost poetic. Because at exactly 12:00 p.m. tomorrow, Lena Carlisle's biotech startup NeuroFathom would go live. That evening, as I packed my gear into moving boxes, my phone lit up. Encrypted message from Eli, my CTO. All systems green. NeuroFathom launch locked for noon. Perfect. I smirked, imagining the storm about to hit the neuroscience sector in less than 24 hours. For 3 unglamorous, exhausting years, I had been perfecting a machine learning platform that mapped neural degeneration patterns before symptoms even appeared. What they saw as tinkering was actually a revolution in early diagnostics. The research assistant role, I claimed, was a convenient front. NeuroFathom had been quietly operating under a parent firm based in Boston, legally watertight, investor-ready, and preparing to reshape the entire medical diagnostics landscape. While they bragged about Maya's clinical rotations, I built an engine capable of saving thousands of lives, many through partnerships they never even knew I negotiated. Buzz. New message from Eli. Phase 1 confirmed. NeuroFathom now holds controlling interest in HelixCare. HelixCare, the regional diagnostics chain that handled all of my family's medical plans and funded Maya's unpaid research abroad. By dawn, the very system that ignored me would answer to me. I taped the last box, just as Maya's voice drifted down the stairs. Mom, should we do soft neutrals or spa blue for Lena's old room? I smiled. Let them decorate. By noon, they'd realize the house might be Maya's, but the future was mine. My room, my sanctuary, the one they always called temporary, a placeholder until someone with real potential needed it. I thought of my Johns Hopkins graduation, the one they skipped to attend Maya's charity gala, of the prototype testing I funded with maxed-out credit cards, while they bragged about Maya's medical breakthroughs that were still theoretical. Lena, my mother called out sharply, don't forget to leave your key. You won't be coming back. I placed it on the desk. No words, no need. They were right. I wasn't coming back. As I loaded the last box into my car, I overheard laughter from the kitchen. Accent walls. Custom shelving. This room deserves someone building something important, not just tinkering in isolation. I sat in my driver's seat, opened my laptop, and typed one line. Initiate, Beatrice, Proton. Authorization, NeuroFathom Core. Protocol Phoenix initiated. Full execution in 8 hours. The system message blinked on screen. Calm, calculated, inevitable. I closed the laptop and started the engine. Not a glossy SUV like Maya's, but a quiet hybrid. Simple, strategic. Every detail part of the persona I'd crafted for years. Because tomorrow, they wouldn't just see success. They'd feel powerless in its shadow. I drove through snow-lined backroads toward Burlington, Vermont, where my real home waited. A private penthouse overlooking Lake Champlain, the entire top floor of the Rivermere residences. The valet nodded, the concierge greeted me by name, and the elevator rose without a stop. Up here, I wasn't the directionless one. I was Dr. Lena Carlisle, founder of NeuroFathom Labs. I stepped into my office, screens lit with global neuroanalytics. And right in the center, a glowing window. Helix Care Systems Sync, 94%. Launch was near. This wasn't just about pioneering neuroscience anymore. The system we were launching, NeuroFathom's clairvoyant protocol, could detect early cognitive decline, but also patterns of clinical fraud, ghost billing, and falsified trial data. It would quietly dismantle the networks that had propped up Carlisle Medical Group for years. The same institution my mother used to funnel research grants into Maya's unregulated side projects, while telling me I needed to earn my own path. A message popped up, the family group chat. Dinner tomorrow at Birch and Stone to celebrate Maya's latest publication. Lena, you're welcome. If you've landed somewhere stable, dress nice. Birch and Stone, their country club heaven. The same place they celebrated Maya's acceptance to Stanford, while I watched from the coat check, saving tips to buy my first EEG rig. The same restaurant where, tomorrow, their corporate cards would quietly fail. Because the diagnostics network backing them would no longer be under their control. I typed a reply. I'll be there. Then I opened the encrypted file titled Project Recalibration, a full audit of every snub, financial slight, and manipulated ledger line, cross-referenced with NeuroFathom's final takeover paperwork for Carlisle Medical Group and its partner clinics. Dr. Carlisle, the executive board is assembled, my assistant Clara said over the intercom. Thank you. I'm on my way. I glanced in the mirror, no longer overlooked, no longer apologizing. Tomorrow night, as I sat across from them at Birch and Stone, I wouldn't be tagging along. I'd be taking control. They'd raise glasses to Maya's groundbreaking research, unaware their empire was already under new leadership. My phone buzzed again. Another secure message from Eli. If you're ready to watch how Lena turns the dinner table into a boardroom and a toast into a takeover, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. Phoenix Protocol, fully deployed. All systems exceeding benchmarks, Helix Care acquisition finalized. Ownership confirmed. I slipped my phone into a slim clutch and stepped through the walnut-paneled entrance of Birch and Stone, the place my family treated like sacred ground. The maitre d', Julin, looked up instantly, not at the Lena they once dismissed, but at Dr. Carlisle, primary stakeholder of the very property beneath their feet. Your usual seat, Dr. Carlisle? He asked with a knowing smile. I gave a soft shake of the head, eyes gliding toward the corner booth. Not tonight, Julian. I'm with them. I approached as Maya gestured elegantly, describing her latest honor. Research suite on the 15th floor. Floor-to-ceiling lake views. They gave me my own assistant. My mother's eyes twitched when she saw me. Lena, you came? We already started ordering, my stepfather added without turning. I had a few things to finalize, I replied calmly, sliding into the edge seat, my usual place on the periphery. Work, Maya smirked. Still calling it that? My stepfather finally glanced up, no doubt keeping tabs on Carlisle Medical Group's market position. Hope you're not freeloading, that name still means something. Before I could speak, Maya continued. The department head said I could lead clinical trials by next spring. Speaking of leadership, I said lightly, did you hear about the board change at Helix Care? My stepfather stiffened. What change? At that moment, a server approached with champagne. My mother reached for her purse. Let's celebrate. This one's on me. She handed over her platinum card. I already knew what came next. The waiter returned, voice tight. "Apologies, ma'am, but your card was declined." "That's ridiculous," my mother snapped. "Run it again." "We've tried 3 times, ma'am. Would you like to provide another?" My stepfather, jaw clenched, handed over his card. The waiter took it silently, then returned with the same apologetic tone. "I'm sorry, sir, this one has also been declined." Maya sighed, clearly annoyed, and produced her Helix Care corporate card. "Ugh, fine. I'll handle it." If you're still watching, you're about to witness what power truly looks like. So hit subscribe and stay with me for the moment they realize the daughter they sidelined now controls the system they once ruled. "That won't work either," I said softly, setting my glass down. All 3 turned to stare at me. "What do you mean?" my stepfather asked slowly, already catching the tone shift. I met his gaze evenly. "About Helix Care? There's been a change in leadership. As of midnight, all account activity falls under new oversight." My mother's complexion went pale. "Lena, what are you talking about?" "Protocol Phoenix," I said calmly, leaning back. I watched the recognition bloom in my stepfather's eyes. A man who lived in backdoor deals and whispers. He knew the name. He'd heard about the AI system disrupting diagnostics and exposing fraud. "That's not possible," he murmured. "Neurofathom," I confirmed. "The same firm that just acquired Helix Care." Maya blinked. "What does that have to do with our cards?" "System protocol," I said. "Irregular transactions, unregistered trusts, falsified clinical stipends. All accounts are temporarily frozen pending audit." My stepfather's voice dropped. "How do you know this?" I smiled slightly. "Because I designed the system." I smiled. "Because I built it. I am Neurofathom." Silence dropped over the table like a shroud. Even Maya's usual stream of self-praise stopped mid-sentence. "That's ridiculous," she scoffed eventually. "You work for some freelance lab out of Boston." "A convenient cover," I replied coolly. "Neurofathom operates through layered entities and quiet acquisitions. That lab is just one node in a network spanning diagnostics, AI, and clinical infrastructure. We now employ over 3,200 people across 14 countries, and as of this morning, we control every system backing your medical insurance, your grants, your payroll, and your research portfolio." My mother's fingers clenched her linen napkin. "But you're just what?" I cut in. "Just the daughter you sent to the attic? The one whose graduation you missed? The one who wasn't Maya?" I pulled a sleek, matte trip card from my clutch and handed it to the waiter. A discreet Neurofathom core emblem glinted in the corner. "The champagne's on me. Actually, every meal this table's had here for the past 4 years, also on me. I bought Birchenstone in 2021. The waiter dipped his head. "Of course. Dr. Carlyle." "Carlyle?" my stepfather echoed, stunned. "You're that Lena Carlyle?" I nodded slowly. "The same Lena Carlyle whose algorithm you tried to patent under Helix Care last spring. You probably didn't notice, too busy spotlighting Maya's residency awards to read the board memos." Maya's face drained of color. "And yes, your hospital's AI diagnostics upgrade, powered by Neurofathom. You'll be using my tech if compliance doesn't freeze your program first." If you're still watching, you've seen the beginning of their unraveling. Subscribe now. Because next, they learn what it means when the girl they ignored becomes the architect of their reckoning. I turned to Maya, voice steady. "Protocol Phoenix flagged discrepancies in your trial reporting, by the way, so if I were you, I'd rethink that director promotion." My mother leaned forward, hands trembling. "Lena, sweetheart, can we talk about this? We're still family." Bam. I stood slowly, letting my gaze settle on each of them. My stepfather's face red with rage, my mother's pale with shame, and Maya's frozen in stunned disbelief. Family doesn't exile you to the attic because you don't fit their narrative. Family doesn't miss your thesis defense to toast someone else's internship. Family doesn't call your career a phase while funding lies. I picked up my handbag. Deep, forest green, alligator leather. Understated but unmistakably high tier. It cost more than the Audi my stepfather loved to brag about. Your accounts will remain frozen until the internal audit is complete, I said evenly. And based on what Protocol Phoenix has flagged so far, I'd expect a call from the Office of Inspector General, possibly before Friday. You can't do this, my stepfather growled. I met his eyes, steady. I already did. Then I paused. And Maya? I tilted my head slightly, voice smooth. If you're looking for a quieter place to do your research, I hear the attic gets excellent sunlight this time of year. I walked out without looking back. Behind me, muffled sobs, whispered disbelief, and the sound of an ego unraveling. In my hand, a buzz from Eli. Protocol Phoenix, historic traction. Neurofathom stock up 320% since market open. I smiled to myself. That freezing attic they shoved me into? It's where I wrote the first line of code for Neurofathom. Where I began building the system that now held their empire in its neural net. Over the next month, the house of cards collapsed. Investigators uncovered ghost grants and clinical falsifications across Carlisle Medical Group. Maya's position was quietly eliminated during Helix Care's ethics restructuring. My mother's social life vanished with the champagne budget. And me? I kept building. Not for them, never again for them, but for impact, for those like me. These days, when someone asks how it started, I tell them, sometimes the best thing they can do is push you out. And sometimes, the most poetic revenge is a declined platinum card at their favorite table in birch and stone. If you've stayed with me this far, thank you. For listening, for seeing what they never could. I wasn't the perfect daughter, not the golden one, but I built something from nothing. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been overlooked, silenced, replaced in your own story? Drop a comment, share your story. Because this journey, this rise, it's not just mine, it's ours. And if you believe in quiet power, in proving them wrong without a single raised voice, tap that subscribe button. Because sometimes the best thing they can do is doubt you, and the best thing you can do is rise anyway.